Right. Okay. So you met your wife. This is my question that I always ask, as you know, because you watch the show. You met at church, but how did it happen? How did it unfold?
Oh, that was interesting. We met at a New Year's Eve party, January New Year's Eve party. I was there with a friend of mine who was a doctor, and we were talking about eyeing off this young girl. And she looked really good. She'd just come back, and she looked very beautiful and everything. He was slow as a wet week, you know. It didn't really bother. So I said, so basically, I invited to take her home, and it was a bit rocky because she was not impressed that in a week's time I was going to leave and take two girls to Queensland on a holiday to take them back to parents and things like that. And so after the initial fling, as they say, I was dropped like a hot potato. But however, I was determined. We came back, and March we reconnected, and so we fell in love, and which was really good. We were going to Godfrey's on Port Road, and
The carpets.
the carpets for everything like that. Just to look as you do, to look at cupboards and things like that. And so I went to the toilet, and I sat at the toilet there, and I says, God, is this the girl for me?
Right in the toilet of a carpet.
So it was a legitimate question. I didn't hear any audible voice, but I opened the door, and there was this huge sign, Elizabeth, there, which is her name. And I thought it was a sign.
It's a sign.
Later, I realised that is all the goods going to Elizabeth, and that's why Elizabeth was there. But I saw it as a sign from God that Elizabeth was the one to be my...
You obviously married her.
I did.
You did.
So she was doing a midwifery course. And so we met in January. We were engaged in September, and the following January, we were married at Mon Church. And so it was really quite quick. Her dad was worried because it was so quick he thought she was pregnant, but that wasn't the case.
Right.
He was really happy because his previous daughters married students, and I was a teacher. So he was happy about that. Then he discovered that in the first year of marriage, I decided to become a student again. And so that's when I applied to be a minister in the Uniting Church, went to the whole examination process and was accepted. And so we started in 1978 doing 4 years at Park and Wisley College. It was... I was going out with other girls beforehand and talked about being a minister and everything like that. And they weren't really interested in that sort of idea. So that's why we didn't have that relationship. So I didn't talk much about it to my wife, Liz. So when I mentioned that I was going to think about entering the ministry, sure, she said, yeah, it was okay. Not thinking that anything was going to happen. It was going to take a few years. Well, I went on to the weekend in October and was accepted. And all of a sudden, school was finished. And we started college. Right. She was a midwife doing work, and I was a student again. And so we worked hard for 4 years at Park and Wisley College. I did a Bachelor of Divinity because which from Melbourne, which turned out to be the best thing about it all. And I'll let fly about that a bit sooner. So we did 4 years, and everything was good. We had a baby, Naomi. So we were looking forward to our first appointment at Meningie. I'd always hoped that I was going to be a lecturer, and I want to be a teacher, a lecturer,
Yes.
And so the idea of a Bachelor of Divinity was the first step in getting some academic qualification.
Okay.
So we were down at Meningie, we were appointed to Meningie. That was a great place. We lived at Meningie, and all the churches were 50 k's away that I looked after. I did 40,000 k's in a year. So I looked after Coomanduk, Canalpin, Narung, Malalong, all of those places in there. And there are a whole lot of stories there of hitting kangaroos, turning my car over on the first Good Friday service and not showing up to the final Good Friday service. All of those things were there, but it was a really great time there, and it was a very special time.
Yeah.
But then I found out in 1986, in my final year, that a Doctorate of Ministry program was being started at the Bible College in South Australia. And so what happened was that Peter Wagner came with Eddie Gibbs, and I started that course thinking that I'll do a doctorate of ministry and that will provide the academic qualifications to be a lecturer. Well, two things happened there. Firstly, Dr. Wagner always asked someone to pray, and he said to people, I'm going to pray about it, and Lord will show me the person I'll invite to pray to begin the sessions.
Okay.
And so one day I was listening, and what happened was that the guy behind me, another says, I know who Wagner is going to ask. And his mate said, how do you know? Well, I asked God, and he told me. And so it blew me down. He said, this is the name. And then Dr. Wagner came out and says, I like X to do it. And he was spot on. And that really rocked my boat, that actually God can talk and talks to people.
Okay.
And that became a desire within me. You know, if he can talk to, in the Bible, if he talked to this guy, why can't he talk to me?
Good. Thank you for watching this short clip of Life Bursts. You can like, subscribe or follow for more, or head to rawcut.com.au.